Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Wednesday, the 26th of January. Today is, of course, the National hashtag Bell Let's Talk Day. So let's talk about talking. Mental health has become a big buzz phrase, it seems, during COVID. Because so many people have been forced to stay home. People are being called upon to work from home and stay separate from other people, and all of those things that give them the resources to help them if they're struggling with anxiety or depression, mental health issues, all those things. This pandemic has sort of brought those things to the fore. It's almost like putting heat under water. The water is boiling now, and those issues are rising to the top like the bubbles in a boiling pot of water. And it's really important that we learn to talk about this. And this year in particular, when we're recognizing that so many people of all ages are dealing with mental health issues, whether that's mild depression, right, full-blown anxiety, recognition that people are being diagnosed with different mental health conditions, illnesses. But one thing they all have in common is that it should not be a stigma. If you are lonely, if you are sad, if you are depressed, if you find you have trouble getting out of bed in the morning, if you are bipolar or schizophrenic or have a chemical imbalance in your brain, none of those are things that you did to yourself. They are things that have either happened to you or your body has reacted in some way, shape, or form, or isn't functioning the way it should. And there are things that you can do to get help. First of all, if you are feeling lonely or scared, or if you're feeling overwhelmed, reach out to someone. Call your neighbor, your friend, your cousin, your sibling. Call your priest. Reach out. And if talking isn't something you're comfortable with, try texting or emailing or Facebooking, or do something that connects you in some small way, at least with somebody else. I really do encourage you, though, that you really should move beyond the screen things, the texting or the messaging and things like that, and move on to conversations with real people. Better yet, a face-to-face conversation with someone, even if you sit 6 feet apart, to have a cup of coffee or to get together to chat. Having that interaction with another human being is so very important. Today, there are lots of things happening on the radio, on television, all over the internet. All you have to look up is Bell Let's Talk Day. The TSN, the sports network, is doing all kinds of stuff around sports and sports people, figures that we look up to as having it all together. They work so hard and they've got the world by the tail, and they're talking about the importance of having an open forum for mental health issues. It's not enough to simply say, to play lip service, the idea that, oh yes, we recognize that mental health is an issue that needs to be dealt with, and people should reach out. We need to do more than reach out. We need to make a comfortable environment in which people can come forward to talk about their concerns. We have groups like AA and NA and Gamblers Anonymous where people can come forward and they can sit down anonymously and say, this is who I am. I am an addict, and this is what I struggle with, and this is how I feel when I'm struggling, and this is how I feel when I stop struggling and I just do it, and then this is how I feel when I realize that I've fallen off the wagon. But we don't have so many obvious resources for people who are searching for that anonymous connection, that ability to say, hey, my name is Rachael, without giving up who I am. I'm lonely, or I'm sad, or I'm really fighting a battle with depression right now. We need to stop being scared that it's somehow contagious. We have gotten into this battleground of worrying that everyone we meet, if they have a sniffle, has COVID, and we don't want to get that, so we keep our distance and we stay away and we wear our masks and we can't read people's faces and body language, and we try hard to keep the distance. But for people who are struggling with mental health issues, for someone who's lonely, for a young mom who's just given birth or has a couple of kids at home and isn't able to take the kids to daycare or for a play date with their friends, that she needs stimulation. There is a limit to what the conversation a toddler can have, and there is a limit to how much a young mom, or a young dad for that matter, can handle a screaming child when they're colicky or hungry, or just at that time of infancy when they just cry a lot. For people who are scared of losing their jobs, or have income security issues or housing security issues, mental health can pile on. It's like watching a playground and seeing one little kid who starts to get picked on by one other little kid. And then, the bully comes in, and then everybody else piles on until all of a sudden that one little child who's by themselves is now being attacked by everybody. Mental health can feel like that. It starts off with something simple, like, I'm tired and it's been a really rough week and I'm having a fight with my husband and work isn't going so well and the kids aren't behaving themselves and, I just don't want to get out of bed this morning. And after a week or two of not wanting to get out of bed, it's just easier to just call in sick to work. Or heck, we're working from home, so I'm not going to bother having a shower. Nobody can see me anyway. And, I'm not really hungry. I'm not gonna bother. There's nobody to make a meal for, so I'll eat when I'm hungry. And it goes on and on. It just builds up a little bit at a time, kind of like when you make a snowball. When you grab a little bit of snow outside, you make a snowball, and then you think, oh, I'm gonna make a snowman. So you roll it and roll it. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Mental health can be like that. It starts off with something as simple as feeling a little bit depressed, a little bit lonely or anxious, and then you just add on a little bit more, and that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's not cool. It's not healthy. And for a lot of people right now, that's the state they're living in, and they're not able to easily get out of that. So I really do encourage you to participate in Let's Talk Day. Call up somebody, even if it's a total stranger. Call up a church, talk to a priest. Call if you need to. Reach out, go to a library, go find out what's happening around you, go to a coffee shop and just sit down. Say to somebody, if I'm double vaccinated, I've had my booster, and I don't have COVID, and I want to sit. Do you mind if I sit at your table, or can I sit at the table beside you and we can just have a conversation? Just be creative. Step outside of your comfort zone. I know that's asking a lot if you are dealing with some mental health struggles. But you need to do something about it. You need to ask for help. You need to reach out for help. You cannot allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into it until it feels like it's too late. One of the things that I find, because I've dealt with my own mental health issues, bouts of depression and feeling anxiety. One of the gifts that I have as being a priest is some resources that are quite at hand for me. And when I'm feeling anxious, there's a prayer in the Book of Common Prayer for those who are anxious, for anxiety. And it is so peaceful and gentle. I say that to myself. Sometimes, if I've got insomnia and I can't sleep and I'm worried about something, I'll pull that out and I'll read it 3 or 4 times. There are beautiful collects in the Book of Alternative Services as well. The Psalms in the Bible. They're sort of, if you open your Bible, if you're not familiar with it, if you open it sort of to the middle, the Psalms are there, and it's a series of what look like almost like poems. And some of them are beautiful and happy and joyous, and some of them are downright like, whoa. I think it's Psalm 22 that we use on Good Friday that talk Jesus. Well, it's not Jesus, it's the psalmist, but it's quoted. Jesus quotes it later in the Bible in the Garden of Gethsemane, but the psalmist is saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? And you know what? I know that sometimes hearing somebody else saying, I know how you feel, just makes it worse. But the fact is that Jesus, David the psalmist, Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, he knew what it felt like to feel like he had been abandoned. David knew what it felt like to feel that everyone had flown the coop. He had no one around him. But he knew he could still turn to God. But that doesn't mean you have to like God. You can be angry with God. God can handle it. So if you're frustrated today and you have no one else to talk to, open up your Bible, read the Psalms, read the Gospels toward the end, the stories of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane preparing for the crucifixion. It's not a happy story. There's a happy ending at the end. Jesus comes back to life and brings us with him. But in that moment where Jesus himself is feeling overwhelmed and thinking, I don't want to have to feel this way, There is consolation in that. There is consolation in knowing that even Jesus went through these difficult times. Even Jesus felt that overwhelming sense of depression and anxiety and fear. You are not alone. So please take good care of yourself. Reach out, ask for help. Reach out to me, talk to me in the comments, message me, call me, email me, whatever you need. But please don't allow yourself to sink any further today. Reach out, take this opportunity to know that you are not being judged, that you are loved. And no matter what your mental health status might be today, we can help you find a new day. Have a good day. Have a blessed and careful and gentle day with yourself. And keep in mind, if you don't have any mental health issues for yourself, reach out to somebody who might. Reach out to somebody who might be lonely or need some help. Offer to take care of the kids for a couple of hours for that young mom, or simply make her a cup of tea and let her go have a nap or a long hot bath. But pay attention to mental health today, so that maybe we can all begin to pay attention to mental health every day. God bless you. I will see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael.